Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft Dave, out on a big walk. And today's big walk is the end of a journey, really. I am doing walk number 30, out of 30 from the Collins Ramblers Guide to the Peak District. It's taken me pretty much a year. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. 30 walks in 52 weeks, and I've done more walks than that. If you add in the short walks, the limestone way, camping trips, cooking videos, I've done quite a lot in that year. But today is about walk number 30. It's called Black Hill and the Crowden Horseshoe. I will try and sort of summarise the book a little bit at the end, but in case I forget, this is another one of the examples where the book's measurements are completely wrong. So the book has this walk as a 6 mile, 10 kilometre walk. Well, it's not that. It's a 10 mile, 15, 16 kilometre walk. So another one where whatever they've been doing to measure it, they've just put it in the wrong place. Whether they were measuring kilometres or miles, they've just mixed them up. But it's a 10 miler. Starting at Crowden, where there is a like an outdoor centre, 32 bedroom outdoor centre, which is pretty cool down there. Parked up, free car park. It's a nice rarity when you're out in the peaks. And we've headed straight up onto the moorland. I'm pretty sure that where I am now, we're going to follow the track all the way up and come round. I think that might well be Black Hill, we'll soon find out. But we're going to come round all of that, which is pretty exciting. And it's a beautiful day. I did start off with my jacket on because it was fairly fresh, but now I've been walking for maybe about a mile. I've warmed up a bit, the sun is out. I'm going to enjoy this walk. Walk number 30. The final Peak District walk. Although I'm sure I'll be back in the Peak District again. So I'm looking forward to this one. I've set off about midday. I think it's probably going to be about 4.5, 5 hours. I'm in absolutely no rush. Sometimes I'm in a bit of a rush, so I try and pound the walks pretty fiercely to try and get them done. Not today. Today I'm going to savour and enjoy and take in this final walk from this book. So enjoy the adventure with me. We'll see what sights we've got. I might even try and see what the book says about it, because I haven't talked from the book for quite a while. I've just been enjoying the walks. And we'll go on an adventure. We'll see where we get to. We might have a little chat along the way. But certainly by the end of the video, I'm going to take a moment and stop and have a bit of a reflect on this book. Thank you for joining me. Off we go. Oh, well, it's maybe not as steep as Kinder, but it's still pretty steep. I think I'm getting to the top of one of the ridges, but it has to be said, the views are pretty spectacular. Oh, I'm gonna have a rest when I get to the top. So we're here at the top. This is Black Hill, standing at 582 metres. The climb up to here, this particular part of it, not too bad. I mean, I'm tired. I've been walking for about 2.5 hours now, non-stop. I'm going to have a break up here. But Wainwright and Wainwright's walks, he didn't particularly like Black Hill. He said it was a bit rubbish. You can't really see a lot. And there's been a lot of conservation work done on the top of here since Wainwright came up to it. There's been a lot of work done where just the surrounding area, it's easier to get up to, so it's not just boggy peatland and stuff like that. It's all paved out, which is fantastic. But I can kind of understand, like, if he walked up here on a particularly grim day and at a point when this wasn't particularly well conserved, why he had a bit of an issue with it, to be honest. But yeah, I can't see a lot at the minute until I kind of get across and sort of back off the other edge of it again. But from here, directions wise, I'm supposed to turn right and head off in that direction, but I can't particularly see a path just yet. It's going to be an interesting one. Right, I'm going to stop and have a break for a second. I might have a chocolate snack from me side pockets, bit of water, rest up. Got about 2 hours to go. I'm about halfway there. The walk ups obviously took a bit longer. That first up, challenging. This is a level 5 difficulty walk. I can understand why, especially if it was a particularly wet day. It would be, again, boggy, just like, so Bleaklow was like the worst we've done. I mean, if it was ranked a 5, if there was a 6, I'd give it a 6. On a wet day, grim, horrible. But this has been all right. Challenging, hard, but I'm at the top now. The only way is down. Let's see where we get to next. So it's quite a challenging route at the minute, as I've come back down from Black Hill, the trig point, and I'm following the GPS basically, because it's the path itself in places is quite noticeable, and at other points it sort of disappears completely. But I just want to show you some of what I'm having to go through on this route, so that it might inform you as to whether you want to do this route or not. So that is currently the direction that I need to go in, and all of that is spongy peat that's really well sodden. So I'm being super careful, just taking one step at a time, picking my way through it as best I can. But further back, just as I'd come off the trig point, pretty much went my boots under the water, like over the ankle. So I've been squelching quite a bit for a few miles, and I've just got them sort of nicely not squelching anymore, and now I've got to head out into this again. So unless I can find another route just slightly off it, I think I'm going to have to end up getting my feet a bit wet again. Hey ho, keep going. Beautiful landscape. I just want to show you the where I've come from, and you can't really tell from here, but that was pretty steep, and we're still got more to go. It levels out a bit there, but we're going down, right back down into the valley. This is pretty hard going. Pretty much since I left the trig point at the top, the going's been horrible. There hasn't really been a clearly defined path at any point. So if you're not confident navigating the map, or if, like me, you've not, I mean, I've got GPS, so I'm just following the route satellite wise, but there's not really a clear footpath from this point. It's hard going. My ankles, my knees, my hips, my glutes, they're all tired, all absolutely shattered. I think I've got about maybe a mile and a half to go, and at least another half a mile of it's through this sort of stuff. I mean, right now it kind of looks alright, but it's a bit of a killer for your ankles. Constantly trying to keep track of your footing. Views are good. There's a lovely view down the valley. That's where we're headed. Oh, keep going, Dave. Nearly there. So this is Loft End Quarry, an abandoned, disused quarry, known locally as Moses Quarry, and in its heyday employed 100 men of the village of Crowden. So whilst it was being used, the population of Crowden needed to be much bigger, but when it closed down, the population moved on. It's pretty cool. Anyway, somehow I've got to get down to that path, so I'm going to figure that out. Bear with me. I think probably go up there and round. Let's have a look. Heading back that way in a minute. All right. Half a mile to go. Just down the hill a bit. Walk pretty much flat across the valley. Back to the car. Pretty much at an end then. Nearly at an end to the Ramblers Guide to the Peak District. Walk number 30 first. Let's finish talking about this one. I've not enjoyed it. The journey up to Black Hill was pretty good, but then the route all the way back from that, awful. Yeah, not recommended to novice or even fairly moderate hikers really, because it's just grim and hard work, and I don't want a walk to be too much like hard work. I don't mind a challenge, but hard work, that doesn't seem worth it, does it? There's got to be some reward for what we're doing, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, whatever it's going to be. I didn't particularly enjoy that. So I wouldn't do it again. Walk number 30, wouldn't do it again. Walk number 29, wouldn't really do again. So pretty much everything from maybe walk 25, 24, 25 onwards, which are the more strenuous walks. I mean, we're talking about the level 4, level 5 walks. Further distance, higher peaks, more challenging. I don't think there's particularly any of them that I enjoyed. There was certain satisfaction about getting to the top of Kinder Scout, whether it be the Kinder Scout walk I did or the Kinder Downfall. There was satisfaction at least to get to the top of Kinder for that. And I guess even to some extent the walk today, getting up to Black Hill, was worth it. But I think what I've learned, because I'm going to summarise the book now, I think what I've learned from doing this walk is that I quite like medium walks. Something around about 6 or 7 miles. Stuff that in the book is probably level 3, which gives me sort of an appropriate level of challenge with something worth seeing. So yeah, I have enjoyed doing the book. Do you know what? I think if I hadn't, I've had this book or a version of it for, how old am I now? I'm 42 now. I mean, it's got to be about 20 years, something like that, that I've had a version of this book and been exploring the Peak District. But I hadn't, over them years, really scratched the surface of looking at the stuff that was in this book. I think I'd probably only done 5 or 6 of them. I am so glad that I have worked through all 30. There's a certain sense of pride and achievement in having done that. To have completed all 30 walks. I'll have Mrs. Bushcraft Dave pop up on the screen up here, ish, there. How many miles I will have covered from doing the book. Probably add about another 10 miles to that for the amount of times I've gone wrong and had to go there and go back, and maybe add another 10 miles for the amount of times that I've filmed myself walking away from the camera and then gone back again. But even just the basic number of miles that I've walked doing this book has been pretty amazing, and fantastic for my physical health, definitely been good for my mental health. Absolutely loved it. And now really the challenge is, what do I do next? Other than just generally being out and about, hiking, camping, cooking, exploring. I think I'm probably looking at doing bits and pieces out of the Rambler's Guide to the Yorkshire Dales and the Rambler's Guide to the Lake District, and doing bits and pieces off those that, as time goes on, I'll try and rattle off all 30 from both of those books. But I'm not, because they're not close, it's not going to be an easy one to sort of knock off the list. And the Yorkshire Dales one's got some of the 3 peaks in there, the Yorkshire 3 peaks, so that's going to be challenging, because I've learnt that I don't really like the climbs. I find the climbs up extremely challenging, but I have enjoyed the sense of reward from getting up there. So I guess one of the things that I just wanted to very quickly do is just talk about, very, very briefly, some of the walks that I have particularly enjoyed and that I think I probably would do again. So I know in a week or two's time I'm going to be going camping with my friend Alexi, who you've seen in a previous couple of videos, and I am going to go and have another look at walk number 1, Dovedale. It's not going to be a big part of the video or anything. We're going to be camping and doing a few other bits and bobs that you'll see hopefully in the video. But yeah, I am going to go and have another look at Dovedale 1 year on, see if I'm any fitter, see if I enjoy it. So I will have another look. I will have another look at Dovedale because it's pretty down there. It's really nice, and it's a sort of place that I could easily take the kids and do a walk. So that's a nice thing. Another one I would consider doing again, even though it was one of the most challenging walks that we've done, is I would consider doing walk number 3 again, which is the peaks of the Upper Dove, where you get to go up Crome Hill and you get to see what's called the Dragon Back Ridge. It's one of those that, like, it is a challenge to get up, but the rewards were fantastic. So definitely would consider doing walk number 3 again. I think walk number 9, Magpie Mine, is another one that is just a really lovely walk with a fantastic bit of scenery that you get to at the end if you take a picnic or something to go and eat when you get there. Really, really nice. I think there is a pub also not far away from Magpie Mine. So Magpie Mine, walk number 9, another one I would probably do again. One of the things that, just whilst I'm thinking about it, one of the things that I've kind of generally noticed about the walks that are in the book, because it's split up into the first 15 walks are the White Peak and the second 15 walks are the Dark Peak. For me personally, I enjoyed the White Peak walks more. I think because the peaks weren't so high, there was a lot more greenery, a lot more sort of walking along the side of the rivers and sort of keeping fairly low down, which clearly with hindsight is something that I clearly enjoy more than the climbs, but I've got to challenge myself from now and again. But in the Dark Peak, I'm sure there are some walks that I'd like to do again. So first of all, one of the ones that definitely would be worth doing again is the Roaches and the Lud's Church walk, walk number 20. Walk number 20. It was a walk I did with Alexi, absolutely loved it. Not an easy walk, but something I'd love to do with the kids if we had like a long time to do it and we could take our time over it. A really fantastic thing to have a look at, that Lud's Church, when you get to it. So that's one to stick on the list to redo, definitely. Another one, walk number 23, Mam Tor and the Great Ridge. Absolutely stunning walk. Doesn't take long to get up to Mam Tor, and the walk along the Great Ridge on a nice day was wonderful. So definitely think about doing that one, Mam Tor and the Great Ridge. And I'm gonna say that's probably the main ones that I would revisit. There are some shorter walks in there that I might think about doing, just some nice simple village style walks, but other than that, they're the main ones. That might even be 5. That could even be the top 5 walks from this book. I have absolutely loved doing it, but I'm glad I've finished because I am tired. The walks, these last few walks have been extremely challenging. I'm not at the best of peak most physical condition at the minute. I'd like to be better, and I wonder whether that would make things a little bit easier. I'm sure it would, but I have loved it, and I'm really glad that I've had you along the journey with me on that. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're looking forward to some more adventures, some more cooking, some more hiking and camping in the future. Thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you in the next one.